Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. In the last episode, we actually gained our third playable character of the game, Swain, and we also finally got our letter of passage in order to finally hit the 7 seas and finally make it to Umtumnia, our next major continent of the game. But, like I promised, episode 13, which is today's episode, will be entirely based on side quests. So we will be finishing up all of our side quests for Castaway Cove and getting ready to finally finish off with Castaway Cove missions until the near future, where there'll be a lot more for us to do, since every single place that you go to throughout the game will have new side quests later and later in the game, since you're opening up new types of Piece of Heart missions and stuff like that. Although I am going to say this now. There is a stipulation to these now. For mission, because I did kind of bring it up in the previous episode, for anything that is actually taking the pieces of heart, we're going to be skipping. I feel like it's a little convoluted to go from one side of the map, just grab one piece of heart, and then use that to get the actual quest done that you're working on. Because you don't get any kind of reward for taking a heart, but you do get one when you give a heart. So we will be skipping over those. So all those have already been done. So we don't have to worry about that. And then another stipulation. Anything that is where you have to do a super big fetch quest where you have to fight 10 boneheads like in the previous one, I'll do a skip for those and just have those done when I'm done with them. So we will be trying to skip over those, and things that alchemy stuff that I don't have the components for. If I don't have the components for it and I can't get them easily, I'll do those ahead of time, and then I'll have these episodes ready for you. So that's how we'll be doing that. So I do have the alchemical stuff we do need for this episode, which is the flint dagger and the ember stone, so we'll do that real quick. So if we go to mix and match, and go to this flint dagger here, and then go to this ember stone right on the side over here, we can actually combine both of these in order to make a new weapon. But we need this for a specific mission that we're going to be doing very shortly. So we need to make ourselves a candle cutter. And success, you have made the following: a candle cutter. And now we actually, technically, I think it also adds it to your formulas. Actually, it doesn't, surprisingly. But this is actually going to add more alchemical stuff for you to do. So thankfully, we can do that early. But other than that, that's all the stipulations, and now let's actually do this. I believe we have 7 missions to do in specific, and they're pretty easy to do as long as you know what you're doing. So first one's first is actually the one we just did. So let's actually talk to this little girl here, and we can actually give her the candle cutter now. That's a big pot you have. Is it a cauldron, is it not? Yeah, that's right. So you must be a wizard. Yep, we are.
Crikey, it sounds like this little girl knows a thing or two about wizarding, Ollie boy.
I do. I read my wizard book every day. I know all about wizards in the spells they cast. But the spells they are not my favorite thing about wizards. It's the alchemy that I love the most. I read that wizards can make almost anything by mixing materials in a cauldron. Is that true?
It sure is. It's actually pretty easy if you have the right ingredients.
Easy for one such as you. I think, being a wizard must be very wonderful. Would you show me how alchemy works? Could you make a candle cutter for me, perhaps? I've heard that candle cutters can be made using alchemical methods. I would dearly love to see one for myself.
The young alchemist, a young girl in Castaway Cove, has read about alchemy in a book, and would love to see some being performed. Agree to show this girl some alchemy. Yes, sirree. You have accepted the following tasks, the young alchemist, and now we can actually do it. Oh, wait, that's her.
Oh, wonderful. I do not think I ever been this excited. Now to make a candle cutter, you will need a flint dagger and an ember stone.
Flipping heck, man, you don't have half of know your stuff.
It's all in my book, alright? I shall wait for you here. Please hurry, I'm very excited.
Okay, and let's actually give it to her. We're back, and we brought you a candle cutter.
Oh, wonderful, simply wonderful. Something so magnificent created from such simple materials. I can hardly believe it.
Well, you better be believing it. Wizards like Ollie boy here can do all sorts of amazing things.
I do love alchemy so. How I wish to become a wizard like you. Oh, perhaps I should give you something to thank you for. Showing me that candle cutter. Please, take this.
And there we go. You have earned the following reward. 2 ring of bells, 2 whetstones, and 400 guilders. So, where I actually got that emberstone was actually in episode. It was all the way back when we went to Old Smoky, which was one of, I got it from a random enemy. I don't remember what it was specifically, but we actually got that one all done and easy. But there we go.
There are all sorts of formula in the wizard book. I can teach you some of them, perhaps.
You have received some new alchemy formula. Go to the cauldron to try them out. Okay, let's actually take a look at what we actually learned. Candle cutter's shadow glass knife, divine dagger, a watchmaker's axe, and a knucklebone claws. Some of the stuff is actually pretty strong. 34 damage, that's actually pretty good. 19, 19, 9, and 9, not bad at all. Although we don't have much of this stuff, but we'll definitely be able to get it later, which would be definitely really nice to have for some of these. Okay, that's all we needed to do there. Now we can actually go to our next one. Let's just make sure one more thing, since I actually don't know if I grabbed all of the missions from Swift Solution, so let's actually see if there's anything that's hidden. Okay, all the things I grabbed, and then we just need to check the errand board. Errand boy. I guess we are an errand boy in a way, so I guess technically that does make sense. Okay, so for our next mission, it's actually these merchants again, because we'll be seeing them every single town we go through. Every single major city they'll actually show up in, and they actually end up becoming a shopkeeper in the final town that you help them in, which is actually kind of cool. But let's actually talk to them.
You mean to still tell me you haven't found us a location for the shop? Oh, for crying out loud, you're useless. Absolutely useless.
Hey, what are you talking about? Talking to me like that for?
If I have to put up with you day in and day out, I'll talk to you however I want.
Whoa, that was kind of mean.
Proper vicious, Ollie boy. She doesn't look like the type either, does she?
What are you two looking at? This is between me and my worthless lump of a husband.
Dearest, please, I think something's happened to you. You're not yourself. Oh yeah, of course, man. She's broken-hearted, ain't it?
Really?
Not a single doubt about it, suffering from a severe lack of kindness she is. Mark my words. She's going to do that to her husband of hers, a real mischief if we don't help her.
A heartless wife. Since arriving in Castaway Cove, one of the traveling merchants has been being unkind to her poor husband. Restore her kindness and end her reign of terror. Yes, we'll definitely do that. A heartless wife has been accepted. Alright, let's fix her broken heart.
That's the spirit. Remember, it's kindness she needs, ain't it?
Okay, and let's see if we can just... Oh yeah, you actually have to click her. Okay, so usually it says the same thing, so... Although it does say the same thing, I am going to read over it again.
You know what to do, don't you? Cast give heart and fill up her kindness-shaped hole in her soul.
Okay, and let's give her some heart that she's missing, which is her kindness. And we have a little bit of that, so the warm, fuzzy gift of generosity. Here you go, and you are fixed for the 3rd time this game. Actually, no, it's her first time, because I'm pretty sure we helped out her husband twice, if I remember correctly. So this is the first time we've actually helped her out.
What's going on? My heart, it feels really clear somehow. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't believe the things I said to you.
It's fine, absolutely fine. I've got the old you back, and that's all that matters. Thank you, young man. I don't know what would have become of us without you. Please take this.
Okay, you've earned the following reward. 3 carrot cakes and 200 guilders. Always nice to have, since money is always nice in this game, because I've used a lot of it to actually buy new items and things, so it's actually nice to have that. And this one's actually running away from me. Hello, can you come back over here? We actually need you.
Yeah, this is it. This is the future.
Gee, ma'am, you sure seem happy.
No doubt I do. I've successfully visualized a swimsuit more elegant than anything that has come before it. For the designer, no joy is comparable. I need only acquire the materials and my vision shall be realized. Perhaps you can help.
Us? Really?
Yeah. Would you do something for me, perhaps in the name of the ancient and all that is elegant? My new swimsuit design requires a certain material that is rare but by no means unattainable. I wonder if you could fetch it for me, perhaps?
Yes, we can. Castaway Cove designer lacks the materials required to realize her striking new swimsuit concept. A snazzier swimsuit. We'll definitely take that. It's actually a really easy one to do.
Oh, thank you. It's rainbow leaves that I require. These are usually carried by florets. 3 should suffice, I think.
What's a floret?
Keep on, buddy boy. These creatures that roam the shimmering sands, ain't they? You must have seen a couple. The thing is with rainbow leaves, though.
Oh, this fairy knows his fashion, I think. There is indeed an additional complication. The rainbow leaves that florets carry must be cooled down before you can pick them up. They will otherwise wilt before your eyes. This makes it very difficult, I realize, but the designer's lot has never been easy.
But how are we meant to cool them down if the florets are holding them?
What's that icy spell you've got again? Frostbite, is it? Try knocking the florets out with that. Should keep the leaves nice and cold, I reckon.
That sounds like a plan, Mr. Drippy. Let's give it a try. And that is actually a really easy quest to do, so we'll do that very shortly, since we'll actually have to leave town to do that one. And we do have a couple things we need to leave town for. There's one mission at Alma Moon that's opened up now, and we also have the Merchant's Menace mission that we still need to do, so we just need to go back over to this side, and we can actually find the other two people we still need to do missions for. So there should be one on this side. Hello, sir.
Curses. What is this affliction I suffer?
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
I have always been a man of the sea. Becoming a fisherman, it was my only ambition, ever since I was a babe in arms. And indeed, I was recently able to finally acquire my very own vessel.
Oh, wow, that's great. Congratulations.
I am grateful for your kind words, but, I suddenly find myself to be most terribly afraid of the ocean. The ocean I have always loved. I simply cannot bring myself to go fishing. What has become of me? I do not know.
A fisherman who's suddenly scared of the sea. Mr. Drippy, it sounds like he's
broken-hearted, ain't it? Lacking courage he is, no doubt about it. You going to help him out, Ollie boy?
A Castaway Cove fisherman has suddenly become scared of the sea and refuses to get into his boats. The fisherman's woe. Would I like to agree? Yes, I would. This one's a really easy one. We just gotta give him some courage. I sure am. I mean, he's just got his own boat.
Right you are then. Let's go see if we can find himself some courage for our fisherman friend.
Yeah, we definitely need him to be nice and helped out, so...
Right then, cast give heart and restore the fisherman's courage, ain't it?
Okay, let's give him some heart, and all he needs is a little bit of courage. And just like that, he's all helped out. And we get ourselves 2 more stamps to boot. We're actually almost done with our merit rewards for now, actually, because we'll be opening up a whole new batch of them once we're finished, which is pretty good.
Huh? Oh, praise be the ancients. Courage swells within my breast once more.
Nito, so you're not scared of the sea anymore?
Not in the slightest. Indeed, I shall take the waves forthwith. But first I must show my gratitude. Please accept this with by way of thanks.
Okay, we've earned ourselves 2 of the following. 2 fish burgers and 200 guilders. Always nice to see, and 2 more stamps for our collection. All we need is 2 more to get the last little bit that we need for another merit card. Okay, so the thing is with this guy, I think we actually do have what we need. Yeah, we do. Nature's Tongue. Okay, so enables the caster to speak to animals and plants, even enlist their aid. So I think we got this quite a long time ago, and we're finally able to use it. So let's use this, because now we'll be able to actually talk to this little crab here.
What am I going to do?
Jeepers, you seem pretty shook up. What's the matter?
You can understand what I'm saying? What a stroke of luck. I was hoping someone like you would scuttle along. Would you mind helping me out with something?
What kind of something?
It's my friend. He was swept away by a huge wave a few days ago. Please, you have to find him. I look for him by stealth, but I'm too shell-shocked.
A blue crab in Castaway Cove is worried about his friend, who has been swept away by a giant wave. Agree to help the blue crab, the concerned crab. Yes, I would. But the thing is we actually have to take the boat in order to get there, which I will do, but I'm going to have to go through the boat thing twice, because I want to make sure that the people that are waiting for the story stuff actually get this. So you might see this twice if you're watching this episode in the next one. So just in case, I will make sure that, because we're going to actually completely redo the boat stuff again, just because I want the people watching the story to actually get the story stuff, because I did tell them to wait till episode 14 till we actually leave the actual Castaway Cove place. So just in case, if you see this twice, that's the reason, and it will be redone, so just so you guys know. Well, do you know which direction he went in, at least?
Good question. I think think the tide must have carried him to the east, but I couldn't tell you any more than that.
Alright.
I just thought, with the ship of yours, you were the perfect people to go and look for him, you know?
I guess so. Alright, Mr. Crab. We'll go find your friend for you.
Wow, cracking news. Thank you.
No problem, buddy. Okay, so we'll be doing that near the end of this episode. I just wanted to grab all the stuff we needed to get. So, first things first, I think we should do a small cut here, since we need to go out to the overworld in order to get to our bounty mission for the Merchant's Menace. So I'll be right back, and we'll be in a very short amount of time I'll be with you guys. So BRB. Okay, we're now finally able to do this Merchant's Menace mission. We've been wanting to do this for quite a while. This was one of Alma Moon's bounty quest missions that we had to skip in order to actually progress, since there was no way we could do it yet, since the gob speed here is actually pretty aggressive, and it's a 3-on-2 battle if you do it during Alma Moon's section. So that's the reason why I wanted to wait till later to do this, and that's why we're finally here, and we're finally taking this guy on. So, first things first is you actually want to get rid of its allies first, and actually I'm going to get out of there since I do want to poke this guy out, because these guys do some damage if you're not paying attention. So thankfully, now that we have Esther and Swain, we can actually deal with these guys a little bit more fair-like, since we didn't have the best chance to actually deal with them before. So let's do some damage. Thankfully, our little purloin guy here, also known as, I think he actually does have a name, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since, originally, when this was all done, we gotta get ready for that. Oof. I will go over names very soon, since these a lot of the new familiars were shown off in episode 11 at the very end, so people could see some of the new stuff that I wanted to use, but it wasn't able to show off before the episode, so I wanted to make sure that you guys could see them at least. So that's why I went over this earlier, but we do have a couple of new familiars, like our little purloin here. We also have the Forest Flutterbee, which we did at the end of the last one. We also have, what do you call it? One of the monoliths, which is a pretty good unit as well. And we also have one of the little trumpet guys as well, which is pretty cool. So thankfully we have a whole new cast of familiars. I wanted to use some new ones since I felt like we had a lot of the ones that I used in the original series. So I wanted to kind of mix it up and kind of start using some of the other things other than these starters, because although the starters are cool, I want to actually use a bunch of new familiars. So eventually we will be pushing Little Spook out, but we will be changing him for something better, which is cool. So with that, we got a bunch of new levels for a bunch of our new things. And now I'll actually go over the names of our new familiars, since I didn't actually say their names before. So we have Felix, which is actually a reference to Felix from Three Houses, and the Lynx, which is a type of cat. And I thought it was kind of cool to mix both Felix and a cat in together, since Felix is a swords master, and the whole point of this guy is he's supposed to be this kind of like Puss in Boots kind of thing. So I thought it was funny to put both those names together, and that's the reason why I named him Felix. We also have Noel here, which I don't know if this is going to stay on the team, but it's just on the team for now. It's one of the ones that we could have gotten from Solomon earlier when we were in the Temple of Trials, and it was the other one that we could have gotten if we didn't pick the Boggly Boo or the Lesser Naiad, or I think it was called Sea Naiad or something like that, but this was one of the three that we could have picked. I just wanted to use this for now so we had something to use. And then we also got this little guy, a monolith, which we named him Goliath because I thought it was kind of funny that, what do you call it? I felt like I wanted to kind of do a pun with the end of the name. So technically this would be David and the Goliath, which is a story. I don't know if it's a religious story or not, but I always knew about the term. So I thought it was funny to name him Goliath, but technically if you could call him David the Goliath in a way, even though I know David and Goliath are two separate things in their story. But I thought it was cool to name him Goliath, but that was a reason for him. But with that, we actually now have to go and find the florets. So I'm going to do a small cut for when I do get to the Shimmering Sands, because we actually do have quite a walk. So I'll be right back once we actually get to the part where we start fighting off with the florets. So BRB, boys and girls. Okay, so now that I have the third floret here, I'm going to go on and tell you how to actually do this. So what you want to do is you want to have your allies attack this the opposite enemy on the map, and then when they're forced to attack the other targets, you can actually force in a one-shot if you're high enough level. And just like that, your floret is down with your frostbite ability, and that's how you would get your rainbow leaves. It's pretty simple, just showing you how to do it, just so anyone that is following along, that's how you would do it. So there we go, all 3 floret leaves are completed, and now we just need to make our way into Alma Moon for our final quest for Alma Moon for now as well. So we might as well do that as well, since it's a pretty easy mission. All you gotta do is, if I remember, it's something to do with birds, and I think you have to use Nature's Tongue on, I think, 3 different birds and have them come back to their owner. So let's go do that real quick since we're in the area. And I believe it's like right at the front of Alma Moon, so we don't really need to do a cut in order to get there, since we're basically right on top of them at this moment anyway. So, hey little buddy. Oh yeah, wait, before we do anything else, since I do have this on the brain, let's actually upgrade Noel now, since he's able to metamorphosize. Let me make sure that he has no abilities that he can still learn. I think he's done. Yeah, he's done. Okay, so it's perfect time to actually upgrade him. So, into a Star Drop for Noel here, and turn him into a Sharper Parper. So, I do actually want to talk about this guy here. So, Noel here, how this guy works is, you can see that he has a question mark as his Genesis. That means that his Genesis is actually unknown, and no character in this game has the unknown affinity. So you can't actually have the affinity for this specific familiar. So, he is actually really good. I believe they go up to like 400 magic attack at the end game status. So they're really, really good if you can train one. So let's turn him into a Sharper Parper, and he'll go back down to level 1 again. But he'll become a lot stronger than he was previously, because this familiar is not a bad familiar if we do keep him. I am still on the side of not sure, but I think he would be fun to use, honestly. So, Noel has metamorphosized into a Sharper Parper. The number of different tricks Noel can perform in battle has increased by 1. And there we go. And now, we actually have a completely new familiar, and we can throw on a new thing for him to use as well. But I don't think we really need him to be spamming other abilities, so I guess Drowsy Drops is nice, I guess, for him to use if he is forced out. So, let's do this. So, this little boy has our next quest we're doing.
Where could they be? Loitering somewhere along the way, no doubt.
Are you waiting for someone?
Oh no, I'm not waiting for people. I keep pigeons. It is for them that I am waiting. I send them out for delivery missions, across the land, but unfortunately several have failed to return. I wonder what that they may have flown the coop.
Gee, I sure hope nothing bad has happened to them.
No, this has happened before. They are probably drinking from the milk fountains, but I have messages for them to deliver. If you have time, would you be able to find them for me?
Agree to look for the boy's pigeons. A young Moony boy is worried because his pigeons are late from returning. A boy and his birds, and 2 stamps is what we get for this one. It's pretty easy.
Thank you so much. I would gladly search for the latecomers myself, but I cannot leave here in case they return while I'm gone. In all three, 3 of my birds have been yet to return. They must have all returned to Alma Moon by now. I'm sure you'll find them somewhere in the city.
Leave it to the Lord High Lord of the Fairies, my lad. Your feathered friends will be back before you can say pigeon pie.
Thank you. No problem, buddy. So we just need to look for all his little pigeon friends. So any area that has pigeons is more than likely going to have one of his little pigeon buddies. And all you need to do there is just use nature's tongue on them, which allows you to actually talk to them, kind of like the crowd we talked to earlier.
Cool. I'm too scared to go home. I do not want to be eaten.
Huh? Eaten? What do you mean?
Cowie, you can understand me, but you're human.
I am. Your master asked me to come find you.
He did? Cool. Did he seem angry? Last time I was late home, he said he would eat me if I ever did it again. I'm sure he didn't mean it, little birdie. He was probably just angry because you blonked off of work, ain't it?
Yeah, he seemed awful worried about you. He really wants you to come home.
Cool. You really think so? Alright, thank you for coming to me. Coming to find me. Cool.
There we go. 1 bird of 3.
Tidy, 1 to go. 1 down, 2 to go.
Hey, look who it is. It's Dewey. Hey, Dewey, we'll be seeing you in the next major town. Thankfully, he didn't appear in Castaway Cove, so we actually got to save some time and not have to worry about that. Actually, I think we're done with a, what do you call it? So, let's actually check. Because I think we're done with, yeah, if we go to Swiss Solutions and turn in our bounty, we can actually, continue here. So let's actually do that real quick. Claim a bounty. Claim our Merchant's Menace for 3 points, and we get some fish burgers and 400 gold. Not bad. And just like that, we have another merit stamp card finished, and we can actually claim our merit rewards now. So, Little Jack Horner occasionally makes your foraging efforts more fruitful. Would I like to exchange it for that? Yes, I would. And that actually allows us to actually start getting some new ones. And the new ones are going to be better than last. You exchanged a merit stamp card for Little Jack Horner merit reward. And just like that, when we get the ability to, we will be able to get a lot more abilities. So, we're all done there, and now we can just leave them for now. So, just like that, we're all done. Let me make sure one more thing, just to see if there's anything hidden, because you never know, and maybe I was wrong on those being the finishing ones. Okay, looks like we're done for now. Good. Okay. We do have the bounty board missions for when we officially do go out to the ocean, which we'll do twice. Like I said, we'll do once in this episode and then a completely redone version in the next episode for those that are only in for the story and not side quest stuff. So that's just to reiterate on that, just to kind of remind, just in case if anyone's forgotten, because I know I like to re-go over some things, and sometimes it could be a little much, but I like to kind of like just make sure that I'm explaining what I'm doing, so those following along know why I'm doing certain things and why we're doing them a certain way and stuff like that. But here we go.
Cool, I do not want to fly home yet. I want to play here a little longer.
But there are messages that need delivering. You have to go back home, little bird.
Squawk, you scared me silly. How can you understand me? Who are you?
Never mind that. Just go on home. Your master is real worried about you.
He is? Cool. But I have to fly so far away to deliver his messages.
Sure you do, but people need those messages. They're counting on you.
Ah, cool. I suppose they are. They always seem so happy to receive them. Alright, I'll go back home. Thank you for coming to find me, Cuckoo.
Little cuckoo birds, and they're more like cuckoo birds than pigeons, aren't they? Which is kind of funny. Just one more to find. Indeed, indeed. We just gotta find where the last one's hiding. And I believe the last one is actually hiding inside a building, I think? I could be wrong, but I remember him being in a building, so we'll be running through each and every, every single place that we can go inside. So, first off, Hootenanny, and I think that might be where it is, so let's actually check. Because they sometimes like to hide certain missions in places. Ooh, we do have this, though. I'm gonna grab that real quick since we're in the area. And I do see him, and there we go. I was right. The first place we checked was where he was. The Hootenanny was where we need to go. One more Nature's Tongue, and we're done with all the birds. Hey, Mr. Pigeon, your master is waiting for you to come home. You have to go back home.
Cool. Is that the time? I was miles away. Sorry, I got distracted on my way home. I'll head straight back. Thank you for coming to find me, Cuckoo.
Cuckoo indeed. I swear, you're far from pigeons and more like cuckoo birds. The ones that you see in, like, the little clocks and things. That's all of them.
Tidy, let's go back and see Pigeon Boy then. Shall we? I bet that he'll have a nice thank you for us.
Yeah, he'll definitely have one of those for us, so let's leave the Hootenanny and return back to Little Pigeon Boy, and we'll be completely done with his mission. We might even get some more merit points, since sometimes you get a bonus 1 or 2, depending on how far you are, so maybe we might get some extra points here. You never know, it would be nice, because then we can get closer and closer to our next one, so we'll have a little bit saved up for our next merit rewards and stuff. So let's see what he needs.
How can I ever thank you? All my pigeons came home to roost thanks to you. Here, I hope this is enough to express my gratitude. Please, you must take it.
You've earned the following reward, 2 phoenix feathers, and 400 guilders. I'll definitely take that. A boy and his birds. A young Mamuni boy is worried because... Oh, I don't know why I reread that. Sometimes I think that in my head, and I like to think of reading that, and then that was the first time it actually happened. Oops. Okay. Well, now that we're done with Alma Moon, I do have to do a cut in order to get back to Castaway Cove since it is a major trek. So I'll be right back and we'll be in Castaway Cove and taking that boat out to our next 3 missions if we can do them. I think we'll be able to do all of them. I could be wrong, but we'll at least do them before, because like I said, we'll do 2 times on the boat. For the beginning of it, so BRB boys and girls, and I'll see you all in Castaway Cove. Okay, we are now back in Castaway Cove, and now we can finally turn in this mission since we're in the area. I brought you those rainbow leaves you wanted.
Yeah, these are perfect, I think. You have done the world of fashion a great service, young man.
So you can make that swimsuit now.
I can, most certainly I can. You are hereby witnessing the birth of a new and exceedingly important trend. Your role in its realization shall not be forgotten, of course. Please accept this token of gratitude, and do not forget me when you need a new designer.
Okay, you've earned the following reward, 4 wildflower sundaes and 400 guilders. And just like that, we're done with a snazzier swimsuit. Pretty easy, pretty easy. And now we are done with all the ones we can currently do in the town. So now we're going to be leaving town for the first time, and then in the next one we'll be doing it for the second time. So we get to do a little bit of story in this one a little bit, since you guys are sticking around and watching through the side story mission episode, so honestly, you get a little reward. You get to see this early. So, let's do this. Oh, it's a cutscene, so BRB.
Sorry, sir, we got a little sidetracked.
The preparations are complete. We sail immediately.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Weigh anchor!
Anchors away! Weigh anchors away!
Another voyage lies before us. My heart sings for the seas. Set sail!
We're moving!
It's proper exciting, this is.
This is going to be fun.
Then the 7 seas await. Unfurl the sails!
Shadar, are you struggling?
Huh. And he spoke so highly of himself.
Fool, did he really think the Guardian of the Volcano could defeat the pure-hearted one?
I fear that executor may be a trifle toothless.
Perhaps he forgot his orders. Well, Shadar, what next?
This time, I shall leave nothing to chance. This time he will suffer by my own hand.
So, it has come to this at last.
And not before time.
Your Grace's silence, please.
Very well, Shadar.
I will grant you a new power. The power to summon the storm.
You honor me, your radiance. This time, he will be destroyed.
Do not fail me, Executor.
And anchors away indeed, because we got ourselves a new achievement for actually setting sail. And with that, we're officially on the ocean. And as you saw, we have a very, very bad thing coming our way. And that is Shadar wanting to take us on himself. And let me tell you, the first fight with him is actually very hard. And I do remember that because that was one of my major roadblocks in my very, and I mean very first time I ever played this game. Back in, when I was still in middle school. I'm in college now, if that says how long ago it's been. So, with that, let's continue.
Ah, the scent of the sea stirs my soul. Now, friends, do you know how to steer a ship? Haha, fear not. There is no mystery to it. Navigate with the L button and use the R button to change your viewpoint. Now you will master it before long, I am sure. Should you wish to disembark, head to shore and press A. And then when you wish to take to the high seas once more, approach the ship and press A to come aboard. Our destination is the far-flung continent of Autumnia, to the northeast of here. That is where you shall find the Hamlin. If you should lose your bearings on the open ocean, and the whole world map will prove a trusty companion, and press RB to waltz aboard the Sea Cow to consult it when you are not aboard the ship. Meanwhile, press RB to open the local map, and press the Y button. With the aid of such a map, there can be no excuse for becoming lost.
And that is indeed true, and now you can use the world map. We're officially able to use it, and this is how big this place is. And just like that, we can see how big Ni no Kuni's world truly is, because this is an open world game. It's far from the truth of not being one. So if anyone tries to say this isn't, look at how big the map is. Once you get the ability to fly, and now since we have the ability to sail, we can actually go anywhere we want. Although there's small areas we can't go until we actually have the ability to fly, and that is a whole new thing that I'm not going to get into because the specific way you fly is pretty cool, and I don't want to spoil that. So, other than that, let's do this. So, first off first is we're going to our bounty missions, and we need to find out where those are. So, let's see here. I think there's a way to actually specifically find where these are. So, let's see here. Greedy Pirate Gang. On Robinson Island, Southeast Summerlands. Are all these in the Southeast? We should make sure about that. Southeastern, regular Summerlands, on Shipwreck Shore, and Southeastern Summerlands. Okay. So it seems like we should be able to easily find it. And I believe one of the very first ones we can go to is actually over here, I think. I think the crab you can find over here, so we just need to go over in this section and we'll be able to easily find him. So I think if we go, here specifically, or it's on this little island, I think, in specific, because he's hiding on one of these little areas, and we can easily get to him if I know exactly where he's hiding. And if I'm wrong, thankfully I wasn't, so he is nearby. We do have quite a bunch of things here, so you know what, since we're right next to one right now, let's go to this one first. So over here is where we're going. Okay, just go over here. And I'm guessing the, I think that's a Puss in Boots. I think that's the first bounty hunt mission. Okay, so we're going to take on our first one, so let's do this. Would I like to take in, oh no, it's a Puss in Boots, or Puss in Bounce. Okay, I thought I said it right the first time, but apparently I was wrong. But this is one of the evolutions of the our feelings here. So we actually get to get a little bit of a seeing of it. Ooh, that was a barely dodged. I don't know if we're actually able to fight these guys, so if we can't fight certain ones, we will skip over them, because there's always a chance that we might not be able to do certain ones. But I think we'll be able to do most of these as long as we're careful and we pay attention to what's going on, because as long as we're, like, healthy and we know what we're doing, we can actually take on a bunch of these pretty easily. Okay, let's go back and do full-on... wrong one. We need to go on the other guy. We need to focus on one entirely to get him off the map. So as long as we can get one out. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now we need to deal with the other one, the cut purse. Because the faster we get rid of the... no, we don't... I don't know why. Sometimes I target the wrong ones. Okay, thankfully we got the cut purse starting to get whacked a couple times. He's using Ray of Light. It's a full-on attack on everybody. Let's heal up Esther, I think. Or Swain. I think I got... Yeah, I got Swain. Cool. I wasn't sure if we did. Okay, nice heal for both of them. Let's do a smash hit on the cut purse here. Hopefully Esther heals up Swain in a second. Thankfully Swain has a defensive unit, so we don't need to worry too much about him. But we do need to make sure that he doesn't go down. Okay, so far so good. Let's turn into Oliver and heal up our buddy Esther here. Just so she doesn't go down. Never mind, she ended up going down anyways. Thankfully I do have a way of bringing her back up, so we don't need to worry too much here. But we do need to make sure that we get rid of this cut purse here if we want to even progress. I don't know why. Sometimes I select this guy and sometimes it doesn't actually attack him. Okay, just keep attacking him. Do as much damage as possible. I don't mind if Oliver does go down, but if he does, it is going to make it harder. So there we go. Get a nice heal on me. And then while Swain's kind of making him worry a little bit, we're going to throw on a heal for Esther to heal her back up. And now she's nice and revived. Since we have those Phoenix Tears, we can use those to our advantage. Heal up Swain. Give him a nice big old heal. Okay, and now we can actually go for this guy. So, Sea Stars, let's see if we can get him confused. That might help us out, I'm not entirely sure, but now that he's all by himself, we can kind of deal with him now. Since he really won't be able to do much against us now, since he's being ganged up now, and we can kind of use the herd of how many people we have on our team to kind of block a lot of his damage. Okay, so far so good. Hopefully Esther doesn't go down since we still do need her, so hopefully she actually kind of backs out of the fight. But knowing this game, she probably won't. Okay, I need to back up again. Let's do a healing to Esther. And then while she's doing that, I don't think that does damage to us. I think that actually makes us... I don't know what that actually does, actually, to be completely honest. Okay, so since we have the ability to, let's actually... I didn't get it off in time, so I think we ended up losing that. But it's not the worst thing, since as long as we do this right, we can actually do this. Okay, so Swain's all by himself. I actually didn't even think about that. Okay, so I need to go into Swain. I need to go into our buddy Ivern here. And we need to use water bombs as much as we can since... What are you doing, Esther? You're not doing that. I'm sorry, but you're not going to attack him like that. That's just stupid. Okay, just all in auto as much as we can. We might get some levels here as well. And down goes that bounty hunt mission. Okay, that was pretty hard, but we were able to do it. So I did tell you can brute force some missions as long as you're knowing what you're doing. So thankfully we were able to do that first bounty hunt. Although we did take quite a bit of damage for doing so. Okay, so far so good. We do need to heal though, because we did take some massive damage there. So let's heal up everybody. And then let's actually give some people some mana back. Honestly, the best thing we can do here is give mana to everybody, and then I'll just buy some more mana before I do the next episode, just because we're kind of out of mana recovery, and we're going to definitely need that when we do fight off with Shadar. I don't know if we can easily take on all those bosses, because for certain ones, they're going to be too hard for us to deal with, since you see technically they're 5-star stamp missions. That means they're going to be very hard. And I don't think we can actually fight these two. But we can do the crab mission, so we'll do that real quick. I believe the crab is somewhere near the middle. And actually, we can only get here from this side, actually. I completely forgot about that. So, technically, I did go the right place before. Okay, so we need to go here. Okay, so the easiest way to get to him is actually making your way through the middle section here and trying to stay away from as many of these enemies as possible. It's actually better we go for the pink enemy here, since that's actually a healer, and it's better than fighting off with the well, we ended up fighting off with one of these little barbarian guys, but we did save off on taking too much here. So first things first, make sure you get rid of the healer, because the healer is going to be the only thing that you really need to worry about. Smash hit should be a decent amount of damage. I don't know if fire damage is super strong against it, but I will make sure to try it at least. Ooh, we can actually get one now. I'm actually going to turn into Esther, and we can actually grab the final thing we could have gotten from Solomon earlier. So this is the final of the 3 that we could have gotten. And just like that, we have the Lagoon Naiad, and that was easy. There we go, perfect. Okay. But other than that, let's have, yeah, let's have Go-Go out for now, I think. Because right now, Oliver can't do much, but I do want them to do stuff, at least. Okay, so far so good. Let's do a pulse on the Barbarian. Knock him out. Make it so there's only one left. And now we can go for the Hippofowl, since it's no longer a Sleepofowl now, it's the upgraded version. Do as much damage as possible. Knock him on out. And there we go. Ooh, we actually got him too, so we might as well serenade 2 of them, since we have the ability to. And just like that, we got 2 more familiars for our party, technically. We probably won't be using them, but it's still nice to have, just to have extras, because sometimes the Dewey missions have familiars that you might have gotten earlier, so it kind of makes it easier for you. So let's see here, I'll just make a random name. Nine sounds cool, I guess. Okay, and then Hippofowl, we'll do Hipling, sounds good, I guess. And there we go, perfect. Okay, so let's see here, the guy we're going for is in the middle here, so need to make our way all the way to the other side here. And he's hiding all the way back there, too. Wow, that's a little unfortunate. Hopefully we can get away from these enemies, because it looks like we can outrun them, as long as we're far enough ahead, and that might actually make this easier, because all we're trying to do here is get to this little crab guy. And there we go, perfect. Nature's Tongue, and now we can actually talk to him and kind of figure out why he hasn't came back to Castaway Cove yet, where his friend is.
This is a life. Plenty of food, gently lapping waves. It's a crab's paradise. Of course, that's not what I thought when I first washed up here. I was convinced I was going to end up living like a hermit. But this place is so much more relaxing than Castaway Cove. I've really come out of my shell, you know. I'm never coming back.
So you used to live in Castaway Cove, huh? Were you friends with another blue crab who lives there?
What? Pinch me if I'm dreaming, but can you really understand what I'm saying? And how do you know about my friend? And the one who lives in Castaway Cove?
Your friend asked us to look for you, mister. He was real worried, see? And wanted to know if you were okay.
He was worried? I see. Hey, could you give him a message for me, something like, I'm having a great time out here. There's loads of food and the weather's cracking. Scuttle over here and join me soon.
Alright, I'll tell him. He sure will be happy when he hears you're okay.
Thank you, young man. I'd shake you by the claw if I were a little taller.
And with that, I'll actually be right back, since I actually have to make my way all the way back to Castaway Cove, so BRB, boys and girls. Okay, so I'm just gonna test this, so if this isn't in the episode, there's more than a reason for why, so just in case, I'm saying this just in case, because I don't know if this is actually gonna make it in the episode, because I don't know if I can actually fight this guy yet. So far, it looks like I technically could, as long as I play correctly. I can actually deal with this guy, but I do have to be very careful on the way we do fight him, because he does do 30 damage to us, so I do need to make sure that I play to my weaknesses and play to my strengths here, if I want to actually survive, so just in case I do need to be careful. Okay, let's just do as much as we can. Thankfully, we are getting healed a lot from our allies, and it looks like I might be able to do a little bit here. And it looks like we might actually be able to do this. Okay, cool. I would like to get one of them and done at least. I can't do the other one because, they're way too strong for me to deal with, but I can actually do quite a bit here, it looks like. Because it looks like we can actually fight him, although we do have to play very aggressively to this guy, but it's not the hardest thing, actually. So thankfully, it is just one enemy, and you can kind of cheese one enemy as long as you're playing correctly. Sadly, I wasn't able to kind of kite that damage there, because you can swap out if you think you're going to take some free damage. So honestly, if you think you're going to take damage, try and negate it as much as possible if you think you're able to. So if you see he's jumping at you, you can always jump out in the correct amount of time to actually get out of a fight. Like that. Okay. Let's do a heal to Swain since they are low on mana, so let's make sure they're nice and healed. I'm going to grab this little piece of heal right here, get ready to go back in, and try and get some nice pokes in since we can do some decent damage as long as we're paying attention here and kind of doing what we can. Do a little bit of everything. Get ready to evade that since that is some massive damage. Thankfully we were able to block it. Okay, so far so good. Get ready to back out. Do another healing touch to myself. Big ol' heal. Another healing tear from our ally as well, which is always nice to see. Okay, go back in on the Hubber Blubber. Do as much as we can while we're nice and healed. Grab this blue Glim if we can, because that gives us another heal for our allies and heal extra damage for us if we really need to. I'm going to heal myself a little bit, so my allies don't have to. I'm also going to make sure that I heal Esther here, just in case, because I think they're actually really close or even out of mana now. So we want to make sure that they're nice and healed now. And now that he's kind of near the end of his little adventure here, because now that he's lower and lower, he actually starts attacking less and less. And that's usually how these enemies work, thankfully. So you can actually easily take on some of these enemies as long as you get to the final HP bars. So now that he's actually pretty much done for, in 3, 2, 1, pretty much the end of that. Oh, almost evaded, but he's basically down for. So all we got to do is just use Swain here, go in with our little boy here, and just smack him a couple times with Valabar, and he should be nice and down in a second. Come on, one more damage. A little bit more, and there we go. Another bounty hunt done. And I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do it, but thankfully we were able to do it. So I know I said we were going to be heading to Castaway Cove first, but thankfully we were able to actually take on that bounty hunt mission. I did try to get to the other one, but the enemies are too high level in the other area near Shipwreck Cove, so I wasn't sure if we could actually do that one, so I did at least try to do this one. So thankfully we were able to do it, so there we go, perfect. Okay, now we just need to head back to Castaway Cove now, and then we're all done with this episode because we just need to talk to the crab, and I'll be right back now. Okay, now that we're back in Castaway Cove, I actually went and claimed all my bounties, so I got actually 9 stamp points for both of them. We actually ended up getting 6 for that one Hubber Blubber thing that we fought off with. And we actually got a new weapon, I think, as well. I think it's a staff, I think? Let me check. Nope, it's not a staff. And what is it exactly? Do we even have the ability to use it? I don't think we have the ability to use it then. Because we don't have anything that can use, No, we can. Okay, cool. We got ourselves a Whalefish Tusk, which is actually a really strong weapon, as you can see, from plus 10 to plus 26. And that's going to be very helpful for when we end up fighting Shadar. So I'll definitely take that, since it actually gives our little Forest Flutter Beast some extra attacks, since he's kind of low on the attack side, as you can see. But that's actually pretty nice. But other than that, let's actually continue here. So now to do our new mission.
Please do not disturb my shopping.
But you said you didn't have any money. Maybe you should save up a little first.
Do not trouble me with such a petty considerations. I do not want to buy it all immediately. I want it. Do you not see?
It sounds to me like this girl is in need of a big dollop of restraint, Ollie boy.
Okay, there we go. Shop till you drop. A woman from Castaway Cove can't help spending all of her money on swimsuits, though she has quite enough already. And there we go. Shop till you drop. Yeah, she can't keep spending all of her money like that.
Tidy, let's get her some restraint then. She's missing then, ain't it?
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
Look sharp, Ollie boy, cast give heart, and lend that girl some restraint before the demon debt gets her.
Okay. Let's give her the little bit of restraint that she's missing. And just like so, we have another mission done. And we just have one more mission to do for this episode, and we're all done. And it's pretty easy, honestly, because all we need to do is just talk to that little crab, and we're done.
What is going on here?
It looks like she's back to normal.
Was it you who put an end to my compulsion?
That's right, Drippy, Lord High Lord of the Fairies at your service.
Mr. Drippy, this isn't the time to be showing off.
I dread to think that what would have happened to me if I had would have become of me if I continued my relentless shopping. Please accept this small token of my thanks.
Okay, we got some 5 salted ice creams and 200 guilders. Thank you, and done with another mission. We're almost to another merit card as well, which is pretty cool. But we can't actually spend any of it yet, I think, so we don't have anything to spend it on, but it's still nice to at least have pretty much all of it for all we need. So now we just need to make our way over by the governor here and talk to our little crown friend. And all we need to do is one little piece of... where is it? Where is it hiding? Nature's Tongue, and we are done with this mission. We found your missing friend, Mr. Crab.
Really? Did you bring him back?
Well, you see, yeah, your friend's kinda at sea and he likes it there.
So he washed up on a desert island, did he? Still, it sounds like he's having a cracking time.
Well, why don't you go pay him a visit?
A visit? Yeah, perhaps I will. He did invite me after all. Listen, thank you ever so much for finding him. Please take this. It's the least you deserve after going through all that trouble.
And there we go, 3 cups of strong coffee and 400 guilders, and we can actually use that since we kind of wasted all of our coffees. And there we go, we got another merit card done. And I believe we're done here, so now that we're kind of making our way back to Swift Solutions, I honestly had a lot of fun here, and I've had a lot better time with this one than I did with the Alma Moon quest, I'll be honest. Because that one took a lot longer than I expected, and I didn't have stipulations set, so I had to kind of do them all basically in episode, and we had so many cuts and so many different things that I had to do in order to actually do the mission. So thankfully, we were able to do a lot of them in this episode, but it wasn't to the point where it was like too many to do. So let's see if there's anything that opened. Ooh, we actually did get something. Hasten your ship's progress across the 7 seas. That's actually really good, so we should actually grab that. Exchange a merit stamp card for Jolly Jack Tar, a merit reward. Yes, sirree, and we'll grab that for the next episode, because that's going to be really helpful for progressing to Hamlin and Antumnia, since we have to kind of make a giant trek all the way over to where we're going next. So, with that, I believe we are indeed done here. So, with that, thank you all for watching today's episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.